Hi everyone, it's Matt here again. Sorry for the long gap between videos. I've just broken my legs, so I'm sitting down here with a bit of time on my hands for the next 6 weeks. I thought I would show you the next step in actually setting your goals out in a yearly calendar. And you know, it's all great to set goals and visions and all those things, but unless you schedule them, unless you set a date and you're constantly present to that date, really, very rarely does it actually result in anything. So how do we actually make those goals that you've mapped out of those 5 groups? You've had adventure, relationships, fun and contribution, wealth and health. How do we get those goals that you've put all that time and effort into thinking of, that's what you want your life to look like? How do I actually get those to actually happen? And they just don't happen by writing them down and putting them on the wall. They happen by writing them in a calendar and scheduling a date that is you, and reviewing that calendar on a weekly basis, so you know shit's coming up. So you know it really is. You put some monkeys on your back, and you start to have that thing pushing you that, geez, I've got to really go because this is due next month, and I've got to be doing that shit. And so this is a way of really getting the most and squeezing the most out of your time, and achieving some of those things you want your life to look like. So your life isn't just a random set of circumstances with the odd planned thing in it. It's actually more strategic than it is random, and that's the real difference here. We want to live a strategic, deliberate life that we actually want it to look like, as opposed to living the life that we kind of end up with, which is okay, but it's not exactly what we want. If there's a way for us to get more of what we want out of our time on this planet, let's use it and let's make it effective. So you've got your 5 sheets there, and you've got your coloured pens, which are really important. This is when they come into effect. Next, if you go to the website, which is www.visionfv.com, that's vision, F for focus, V for valour, .com, and go to the download section. There's a calendar in there for 2016. It's a blank calendar that looks like that. I print them out in A3, so they're nice and big. So go and print that sucker out, and do it in colour. Don't do it in black and white. Black and white's boring. Spend the extra 30 cents and do it in colour, and then get ready to schedule your stuff. So once you've got that in your hand, you can use my one, or if you've got your own, that's totally cool. I just put one up on the website that I use, just so it makes it easier for you. But you can use whatever you want. Now, 3 things you're going to need: your 5 A4 bits of paper with all your goals on it. You're going to need one of these, and your coloured textures. So the same coloured textures that you wrote all your stuff on the wall with, your 5 colours. Get those, and then come and sit down. Alright, I'll give you a few seconds to pause this video and go and do a printout and come back and get ready. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Time's up. Alright, so now you've got your printouts of your 5 groups of your life: your wealth, health, contribution, love and adventure, and relationships, and you've got your textures, your 5 colours, and you've got your printout. Alright, so what we're going to do now is get your first one. Let's just say it's adventure, and all the things that you wrote down on adventure. It's time now to get that coloured texture, which I use as purple for adventure. It's time to get that purple texture out and start putting dates that you're going to do those things in. So if you're going camping with the family, it might be love and relationships and adventure. Put that in. School holidays. There are lots of adventure possibilities there because you've got time off with the kids. Put that in there. You might have weekends, like you might be doing, Tough Mudder or Spartan. So, you start putting those things in. And then you'll start to fill in each month, and you'll start to see some things come to the surface. So once you've done adventure, you do the exact same process with relationships. So your date nights, your weekends away together, you're going camping with the kids on school holidays, I don't know, you're building them a cubby house. All those things that you have in relationships on that A4 piece of paper, I want you to schedule down and write them in for the year. So you've got Christmas holidays, You've got obviously all your school holidays as well, which are really important for relationships because you've got time with the family there. You've got birthdays, all that kind of stuff. So go through and put all the red ones in, all the relationship ones in, and see how you go with that. You'll need to do this with your partner because obviously coordinating the times is critical. There's no point you wanting to go away on an adventure if it's school holidays and you're going camping. You just haven't been told yet. You can always compromise and do it your partner's way. Alright, so once you've done relationships, you guessed it, you're going to do it with the other ones as well. You're going to do it with fun and contribution. So schedule those things in. I use an orange pen for that. So get your orange pen out and put those in. Some of those are onces. They're like once a year. And some of those are regulars. So, you know, sometimes we get to do things weekly, monthly. Schedule them in. And do the same with your wealth and your health. Now, wealth, there's no point putting down working every day as your wealth because your whole calendar will be blue. So I use blue for wealth. Every page would be blue because you're working most days. So there's no point putting that down. What I want is the milestones. So we're going to get this project together. I'm going to get all my funding done for that project. I've got to get some partners on for this idea. I want to get my investment properties. Whatever your wealth steps are, whether it's earning income, it's paying off debt, it's creating projects that create wealth for you, like owning properties or doing projects. I want those milestones down. So if I want my first investment property by October the 14th, I know I've got to write in there at the beginning, I'd say a month before that, start looking for my first investment property. So I've got a month's notice before I actually hit that date. And you're going to be reviewing it every week anyway, so you're going to be really present to that, which is the real key. But you need to write all those things in. And health. So if you train every week, every day, or 3 or 4 times a week, there's probably no point putting that in, because that's just a lot of repetition. But you want to put your goals in there. So if you've got a race coming up, it's really important to set yourselves a health goal, like a race, some sort of event that you're going to compete in. You may just be competing against yourself, but you've got to put those dates in there. And if it's like a marathon or a Spartan, or it's a paddle race, it's something that's set, that's an event, you've got to deliver it by that date. So put your health goals in there, because I tell you what, when you're out there training for those things, that day is in the back of your head. Man, I've got a big race coming up. It's in 6 weeks' time. I'm going to really suffer unless I work my ass off every day, and I don't want to be in that much pain. So I'm going to work my tail off until I get there, so the race is easy. You train hard and race easy, and I get to enjoy it. So make sure you put those health goals in there. They can be weight goals. Lose 5 kilos, which is great. But if you can tie those things in with like a competition event that's bigger than just your personal goal, that's really going to push you a bit harder. Alright, so go through and put all those things in, and what you'll see is you'll start to see some months have more colours than others. You'll see that, hey gee, there's a whole heap of relationship in December because of Christmas holidays, but August or July is looking like there's nothing relationship in there. So you start to see where the gaps in your plan are. Now the ultimate goal is to have every colour, pay attention on this bit, every colour represented in every month. That is the goal. So if you can see months where there's not enough green or not enough red or not enough purple, you've got to go and think and create something that's in that zone for that month. And there's no point just having 1 month of wealth, 1 month of health, 1 month of relationships, and 1 month of venture, all sequentially, because that ends up to a totally unbalanced life experience. What you need is all of the colours represented every month, and it ends up looking like a whole heap of rainbow, like a unicorn vomited on your calendar. And that's totally the outcome. We want every one of your life categories represented every month. So you're doing those things which make your life the way that you want it, make it complete, make it balanced every month. Because as especially men and high achievers, women as well, high achievers, it's very easy to do one thing obsessively. And I can train and train and train, but then my wealth goes out the door. And I can work on money and money and money, but then I haven't got a relationship. You know, we're all awesome at doing one or two things just fantastic and just nailing it. But all the other stuff goes out the window. And then, you know, surprise, surprise, we end up with the repercussions of that. And that isn't a balanced life. And it's certainly not living a full life. And it certainly isn't achievement in living a life. So make sure you've got every month represented, all of the 5 colours. And then you end up with something kind of like this. You've got colours and writing and pen and, you know, green and stuff all over it. And that's good. That's what you want. And then each month, each week on Sunday when I go and plan my week, I pull that out and I go through and see what's up for the week and the month. And you add stuff in and delete stuff out, and it ends up with a lot of writing on it. But that's great because that means it's active. And that means you're doing shit. That means, you know, like we were going to go camping, but it got rained out. We'll schedule that for 2 weeks' time. Boom, move it over. Or, you know, I did have camping booked next month, but we went twice this month. So, you know, we've probably got enough of that. We can do something else. Bodie's got a rugby game on or a rugby event on that we've got to go down the Gold Coast for. Put that in. Or something like... you have new things come up, new goals come up, you can add them in, put them in new colours, you can always add to it, that's great. You have other things come up, like you forgot someone's birthday, which is quite easy with so many friends. Thank God for Facebook, it reminds you. So you can add to it and delete it and keep it live. And it's a live document. It only works because you do it every week. It only works because you pay attention to it like you nurture a baby. And so you get this thing out every Sunday, you write shit on there, what's up for the week, what's up for the month, and what goals are coming up, and then you get them in action, and you dump your A's, B's, and C's. What's my A's for this month? What are my B's and what are my C's? What's my A priorities to make sure I get all of my stuff that I want my life to look like happening? Our little tip for you here, if it's on one of your colour pages and it's a goal for the year, it's an A. So if your health getting to that weight is on your page, it becomes an A for the week. It is one of the things that you must achieve, that you want to achieve the way that you want life to look at. So, you know, washing the dog isn't something I want my life to look at, but it's a C. You know, it's something I've got to do and talk my son into doing and paying him some money for it. Washing the car, that kind of mundane stuff, they're all C's. B's are the things we have to do. I've got to follow up that phone call. I've got to make sure that dude gets that paperwork. They're all the things that we have to do, but they're not urgent and they're not certainly our life plan. They're the things that we just are committed to do and responsible for. And then there's the A's, which are all the things that you want your life to look like. All of those coloured goals, they're all A's, and they should be on your #1 energy things for the week. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope you have fun doing it. Yeah, it takes some time. Do it with your partner. And once you've invested the time in it, make sure you pull it out every week, every Sunday when I send you that text message. And you plan your week and you start living deliberately. And you will be amazed how quickly you start to get more shit done. And every year you get better at it. And so expect more things to go your way every year by doing it this way. All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.